Okay, we're going to continue talking about the CMMT series servo and stepper motors and how to configure extended process data. We've already, well, this is the AOI we're talking about, the add-on instruction that we're going to talk from the Studio 5000 to the Festo Automation Suite. And the last video we left off, we had our base project, which we had basically configured the extended process data here. And now we're going to move into configuring the PLC side of things. So the project itself is finished, and now we're going to move into the Rockwell world. Okay, so we want to start up our Rockwell software. I'm assuming that you guys all know how to install Rockwell software. You've gone to the website, downloaded it, and installed it. In my case, I'm going to be using version 2004. So you would come in and start the software up. This is not the one I'm looking for here. But basically you start up the software and you're presented with this right here. So in this here, like I said, we're using 2004. And we want to start with a new controller. So create new, give it a controller name and everything else to go along with it. And 16L30 RM 20 is what we're looking for. And give the PLC a name. So this is the name I want here. And give it a directory. That's the wrong directory. No, that's the right directory. And we say OK. And it's created the file now. And I've changed the name to PLC because the file name itself is, I like to do that. And now we start to build on our project. So if we haven't done anything in the past, the first step is to create a connection. In order to create a connection, we need an EDS file from the website. So we're going to go back to the website, to the same location we were always at. So we've just left this open the whole time. Go back to the software tab. In order to find the correct EDS file for the CMMT series controllers, they have embedded the EDS file in the firmware package. So if you download the firmware package and open up the zip file, you will find the EDS file. So let's do that. Okay, so if you expand the zip file that you just downloaded, you'll see here that they have the firmware, and then you have an archive, and then you've got older version of firmware, and then within the firmware directories you've got Ethernet EDS and the firmware itself. So I have taken the CMMT-AS right here and I've moved it to a local directory here. And then in your project here, you would come up to EDS installation tool and you would install the EDS file. Click on next, register an EDS file. I always pick a directory. I know the directory, so I'm going to put it in there, hit the next button. There's the file. I'm going to register both the AS and the ST, and you would step through, keep going. These are already registered, by the way, and then hit finish. So the EDS files are now there, and they're right for the picking. So we wait for the database to be updated by the software here. Okay, right click, we're going to add a new module. Again, I'm in 2004, so this kind of changes over the course of time. I mean, we're up to 32 right now. And type in the search, CMMT, and then we would select right there. Okay, so we're going to have to give this module an access name or a name. And we're going to give it an IP address, which I know, which we can configure later. And you always need the process data. The process data comes through, the default is sync, but that's not right. We need to create an int, 12 ints or this. And then for the extended process data, we want this right here, the very first one. And it needs to be in a single integer format. So I always do an exact match, sorry. I hit OK. Yes. If you screw that up or mess that up in the process, then you likely have to delete your whole module and start over again. Rockwell always has some sort of bug here. You set up your connection speeds. So as you can see here, the process data and the extended process data are two separate connections inside this one connection. So you can make this go as low as 1 millisecond. I'll just do that, and we'll leave this as less demand on the controller here, and that's it. Hit the OK button. It'll create a connection over here, and at this point we're ready to make a connection. The next thing in the project is to configure a communications path from your PC to the PLC. Okay, this popped up here. So in RSLinx Classics, you would have already had to configure your connections here. I guess I can quickly show that here. Okay, so I've started up RSLinx Classics here, and if I go to RSWho, you'll see the same configuration here. If you close this under Configure Drivers, you would simply come into here, grab Ethernet IP driver, click on Add, and then it's going to prompt you for which network card to associate it with. I'm not going to do that, but that's basically what I did here. All 3 network cards are associated with something and they're running. So this one right here, if I go to Configure, it's connected to this one. This one's connected to the next one, and you get the idea. Okay? So whatever you do in RSLinx Classic is now going to show up in this browser right here. And in my case, I'm on this right here, and I'm going to choose this PLC here as my project path. So you would click on Set Project Path, which I've done. Sorry, I clicked on it. And so you can either do download now, or because I already have this set project path, I can come over here and do a download, and it will download to the device. So let's proceed to do that. Click on download, it changes it from, okay, hang on one second. I've got some leftover code in here. Click on that, and just get rid of these routines here. Again, do another download. I'm already in program mode, so it won't have to ask me that again. It'll download the code. Go online, go into run mode. Key switches in REM so that you can use the software to move it around. And we go to the connection. No faults. Module info. looks good. IP address looks good. Port configuration looks good. Everything else looks good. So the fact that we've given the CMMT-AS the name, here's the connections here. We have the data. Let's go to the monitor tags here. So we have the process data. So we have data coming through here. And we have the Custom Automation Suite project. You notice that there's no data here. Well, that's because at no point in the past did we download the project that has the extended process data in it. So let's move back to the Custom Automation Suite project here. We're going to do a connect. It'll come up with discrepancies. So basically these are the files that we're setting, so I'm going to do a write to the device. Okay, and then we want to do a store on the device so that the volatile memory is put into the double EEPROM, and then we can signal power without having a problem. And because we have an error, I'm just going to do an acknowledge all. So that we're green, we're good to go. So if I go back to the PLC project, now you'll notice here that there is data being passed. Okay? All right, so we have a connection, and that's good. So I'm going to end this video, and then we'll have another video to continue in the process here.